If everything feels safe, you're probably not growing. And if your life feels boring, it's because you keep choosing comfort. If you don't want to waste your potential on this earth and align with your destiny, then keep watching. This is for you. So this safe version of you that you created to survive, it's not bad, by the way, that you have this. If you're here, it's not bad. It's literally just a coping tool, a coping mechanism that you created because you believe somehow that this is safe and this is not safe. And I'm here to show you that this is safe and that it's actually reversed, because this is not safe at all. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Hello guys, Nico here. Today I'm gonna be teaching you how to get out of your comfort zone. I feel like this is such an abstract thing that so many people don't understand. I certainly didn't. I want to open this video up with a quote. The cave which you most fear to enter has the biggest treasure. I feel like the comfort zone it can be such a confusing topic. Like, we've all seen this basic graph. I've seen this at school, right? Who's seen this? Comfort zone. Where the magic happens. What is that? Like, what? What the fuck is that? What does that mean? I saw that at school and I was so confused. But now I get it. So let me explain. Step by step. It's true. This is where the magic happens. But the question is, how do you actually get out of the comfort zone? This always confused me. Because as a kid looking at this, I didn't actually understand how to get out of the comfort zone. What does that mean? I didn't get the concept at all. But the reason why this confused me is because this was created by your psyche for a damn reason. It was created to keep you safe. Because at some point as a kid, you learned that it wasn't safe to get out of the comfort zone. Parents told you, be safe, stay where you are, don't go there, don't touch that thing, you're gonna hurt yourself. They were overprotective, or you weren't allowed to explore and do your own things. Or at some point you learned to stay safe. And so your natural exploratory spirit got dampened down and you got stuck here. And this is created as a safety mechanism for a damn reason, okay? That's why it felt so abstract to me when I saw this. I was like, how do you do it? It doesn't make sense. Okay, well, let me expand on this. So the truth is, this is not how this should be looking like. This is more like the reality of the comfort zone graph. So here's your comfort zone. Then you have a stretch zone, which is where I am right now, making this video. And then you have a red panic zone. So you don't want to stretch yourself so far that it traumatizes you. You don't want to go and speak poetry on stage when your nervous system is not ready for it. You want to go there when it feels like a stretch and not like dysregulation. And this is something they didn't teach us at school, right? But let's go deeper, shall we? This is you right here, in your current identity, current state. And you are safe. You are in your comfort zone. And this is where you want to get to. Your dream life, your goal, and to merge with your higher self, a different version of you, right? So think of any high, big goal that you have. As an example, let's say right now you are very shy. Your voice is very closed down, but you have a dream of becoming a podcast host. Now, how the fuck are you going to get from A to B? It seems insurmountable, right? Like, people could tell you, yeah, you need to just get out of your comfort zone, but you're not just going to do that and become that overnight by stepping out of your comfort zone. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to take small incremental steps to get to that. So here's you, right, in your current reality. you may not be able to access this unless you create an alter ego. Now that's a shortcut, but that is not accessible to most people. At least not for me personally, and I almost feel like it's a bit fake and it's bypassing the whole journey of becoming. Because if you just create an alter ego and you just become suddenly a podcast host overnight, which technically you can, but you're not gonna have earned it. You're not gonna have gone through the journey of becoming it truly. It's gonna be like an on and off switch that you can just switch on, but it won't be you. Kind of like Marilyn Monroe when she put on her alter ego persona to become Marlon. But if that's not accessible to you, like it's not for most people, and you want the juicy satisfaction of becoming that version of you, and looking back at your life and being like, holy shit, how did I get here? This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna look at the next thing that is accessible to you right now, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. So for you, if you're shy and you want to become a podcast host, maybe the next thing will be to talk to someone. The next thing would be start a social media account and start posting. The next thing might be to go to an acting improv class. The next thing might be doing an Instagram live. And the next thing might be doing a workshop. Right, so through doing all these tasks, and if you're really shy, it might have to be a lot more like talking and a lot more of these lower steps, so to speak. Through these incremental steps, you are going to gain more and more confidence, and each time you are going into your stretch zone, so you're stepping into fear, but not so much that you're in a panic zone. If you went straight from here into making a workshop, you would be in your panic zone. If you went straight from here into being a podcast host, that's why I'm saying this is not accessible to most people, right? Unless you're an actor and you're good at this already. But if you are here and you want to become a podcast host, this will be a panic. If I took you as you are right now, if you're trying to become a podcast host and you're really shy, and I put you in a room with a really famous person, how are you going to feel? You're gonna fucking panic, right? Like your breath, your heart is gonna be pounding in your chest. You're not gonna do a very good job. You're gonna stumble on your words. You're not gonna be prepared. It's the same with anything. Let's say you are broke and you want to be rich. You want to be a millionaire or whatever. You're gonna have to take these small incremental steps where you expand your nervous system's capacity to hold more money, to hold more tension. If I just gave you $1 million right now and I made you rich, you wouldn't have actually done the work and the incremental steps to earn the identity of a rich person. So you wouldn't be able to hold it. You would still have a broke mentality. You would have money, but you would still have a broke mentality. You would still feel broke. You would still feel scarcity. And so what happens is you would most likely lose the money. You would not know how to invest. That's why most people that get rich from a lottery lose it very quickly. Because they have not gone through this process of upgrading themselves, of upgrading their system. This is you 1.0, this is you like 3.0 or 10.0 or whatever. You know, and you have to earn it step by step. On the way to doing these things, you might also encounter certain beliefs. Beliefs about yourself, beliefs about how the world works, how money works, how capable you are, about your voice, all kinds of things, right? So you're gonna have to do belief work also as you're going in this journey. And then, by virtue of doing all these things, you're gonna stand here and you're gonna look back at this whole thing and you're gonna be like, holy shit, how did I get here? I'm actually so much more confident now. I feel like I can maybe make the jump. And then you start your first podcast and it's shit. So here's the thing. You have to persist. If this is what you really truly want, authentically, and not what society told you, not what your parents told you, that would make you successful. If it's your authentic heart's desire, you have to pursue it. You have to persist. Because the universe is going to test you. And is going to try to see if you fall back into your comfort zone again. Your comfort zone will stretch. And once you become a podcast host, maybe you'll realize that's my new comfort zone. Now I want to go and do live workshops. Now that's a stretch for me. So you're constantly stretching yourself, but you will always be tested. Now, another thing that you want to do with this is look at this version of you that's living this life, whatever that is for you, and make a whole list of the traits that this person has. How do they feel in themselves? What do they wear? How do they walk? How do they talk? What content do they watch? What do they eat? What workshops do they go to? Anything that you can think of about this person. And then start incrementally becoming that as much as you can in your daily life. What habits do they have? How do they wake up? You know, if this person, your dream person that's a podcast host, wakes up at 6 a.m. and right now you're waking up at 10 a.m., it might be hard for you to suddenly wake up at 6 a.m. and you might find that it doesn't stick because you've not actually embodied that identity. The trick to changing habits is actually changing your identity first. It's not that your habits create your identity. It's that your identity shapes your habits. So if you reverse engineer it and you adopt a different identity first and then act from that, then your habits will stick much easier. But you will probably find it hard to get there overnight and just be like, I am this now, this is what I am, and I'm waking up at 6 a.m. It might not stick, so it would be best to do it incrementally. At least that's what I find works for me. You might, I don't know, maybe you're an extreme person, maybe just switching it works for you. So use your own discernment for that. Okay, I hope you can see this next one, but here we have how 98% of the population are living in their comfort zone, and about 2% of the population are living in this. Most people are fitting in, they're insecure, they're living in survival, they're living in fear, they're letting fear stop them from pursuing things, they're just getting by, they are settling for less than what they deserve, they're living a dull life, they're living in regret that they didn't pursue their dreams. And also I would add in here jealousy, because when you're living in the blue zone, you don't feel jealous, you feel inspired. But when you live here, you feel jealous because you're projecting your lack of action towards your dream life on other people, and you're thinking, how dare they have this? I want this. I don't want them to have it. Right? But when you're here, you're already pursuing your dream life, and so you're actually happy for others. There is no need for jealousy. If you feel jealousy, you can instantly alchemize it into inspiration, because you realize, oh, wait a second, I'm jealous of this person. I kind of like what they're doing. If they can do it, I can do it. This 98% is also living in procrastination, and they're playing it safe. So they're not taking risks with their life. Now the 2%, the people who are successful, fulfilled, who are entrepreneurs, they know this and they always step out of their comfort zone. They always expand their learning zone and their stretch zone. They always stretch themselves. They always stretch their capacity further. And I also feel like this keeps you young, because if you live life with this mindset of growth, you're constantly expanding, then you're not degenerating. Being old and aging isn't about your Earth years that you've spent on this planet. It's not about how wrinkly your face is. I think old age and degeneration comes from when you stop learning and you accept that this is it and that life goes downhill from here and I'm just gonna be sick and I can't do XYZ anymore. And unfortunately that is most of the elderly people around that I see. And there are exceptions, those people that I personally feel inspired by, who are fit motherfuckers when they get old. They're just like sexy. They're old and they're sexy because they go to the gym and they take care of themselves and they're always expanding, learning. So anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the blue zone. Pun not intended, but okay. The 2% are going to act in spite of fear. They're not going to let fear stop them from pursuing their dreams. They understand that fear is the portal to getting what they want. Every time there's something new on the horizon that they've never done before, that they've never had before, fear is going to come up. Because whenever you encounter something new in your life, it challenges your current state of self and beliefs. So this safe version of you that you created to survive, it's not bad, by the way, that you have this. If you're here, it's not bad. It's literally just a coping tool, a coping mechanism that you created because you believe somehow that this is safe and this is not safe. And I'm here to show you that this is safe and that it's actually reversed. Because this is not safe at all. Why is this not safe at all? Because when you're here, you might be comfortable. You might not be stepping into the fear consciously, but you always have tension underneath the surface in your nervous system that isn't being dealt with. All that jealousy that's brewing in there, all that resentment for the people that are successful in making it, the tension of being in a shitty 9-to-5 job that you fucking hate. Is that really so safe? Are you really willing to arrive at death safely? Is that the goal here? Or is it this? Because if you let your unconscious rule your mind, you're gonna be here. And if you consciously choose this, it's gonna be uncomfortable, it's gonna suck, but you're gonna be way more fulfilled. So the people who are in the blue zone are also pursuing their dreams, exploring the new. They don't get stuck in just one way of being. They're choosing happiness. They're in fulfillment. They're pursuing fulfillment. They're making most out of life. They are embracing the unknown, which is scary. They're consciously choosing fear. They're following their excitement. And excitement and fear sometimes come hand in hand. If you feel a mixture of fear and excitement, then you're in the right place. Then you know that that is where your dream life is gonna be. They are embracing change. They are limitless. And they are in abundance, or stepping into abundance. So this is where the magic happens. This is where you get real life magic and synchronicity. When you step into that fear and you pass tests from the universe, synchronicity guides you. And when you're here, there's barely any synchronicity because you're always in the same spot. So now we've talked about the benefits of stepping out of the comfort zone. Let's touch on the risk of staying in your comfort zone. So play it forward. Look at your life right now. The ways that you're playing it safe, playing it small, staying limited, not pursuing your dreams. The way that you're getting by, the way that you're fitting in, the way that you're just surviving, procrastinating. Look at all those things and play them forward 5 years, 10 years, if nothing changed about your life, 30 years. I don't know how old you guys are, but maybe go longer if you can. And then look at yourself on your deathbed and think about all the regrets that you've had. You can actually do this as a meditation. If you want to pause this video right now and just contemplate on your old self dying, you can connect with that version of you right now, because time is not real. What are they telling you that they regret, that they wanted you to do? And what does your life look like if it never changed? What do you wish you changed about it? So do that now. If you have the time, you can pause the video now. Welcome back if you did it. If not, that's okay. Let's move on. So you have a choice. You can either consciously choose discomfort and create the life of your dreams and pursue your destiny, or you can stay in your comfort zone and live with tension under the surface. So you're either consciously choosing tension or you are unconsciously choosing tension. The tension is still there. The difference is that when it's here, it's suppressed and it creates disease. It creates unfavorable circumstances in your outer reality. But when it's expressed, that energy is going somewhere. And now you're healthy. See how it works? So you have tension in you, either way, whichever path you choose. It's just either energy that is consciously being used or energy that is being unconsciously suppressed. Now, here's also why this doesn't make sense to me. It's starting to make a little bit more sense now that I've put all these graphs out, right? But what if you feel very resistant? What then? Because like I said, this isn't bad. It was just created to keep you safe. Certain parts of you, you might want to call them protector parts, have created this comfort zone, this box, to keep you small and keep you safe, because they believe that you going out here, you're gonna get yourself hurt, you're gonna not be liked, something bad is gonna happen, you won't get that money, you better settle, you better stay safe, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, all these beliefs, all these things that they tell you so that you would stay here. Because this personality, this old ego structure that you have, that kept you safe for so long, it won't be broken just in one day. Now, I don't deny that you could quantum leap, but this is not the route that most people are gonna take, and it's not sustainable for most people. So this is the reason why it seems so abstract when you look at just this, is because people will tell you, oh, you just need to get out of your comfort zone. Oh, you need to just pursue this. Oh, you just need to take a risk. That's all easy to say. When you have so many parts inside of you, inside of your psyche, that are trying to keep you small and safe and boxed up, because this is the way that they believe that you are going to survive. And when you go in here, it's more like a panic zone. If your relationship to risk and to stepping out of your comfort zone is bad because somebody in your childhood made you believe that you're incapable and that you shouldn't do this and that and that the world is not safe, then it's not going to feel like this. It's not going to feel like a stretch. It's going to feel more like the panic zone. So that's the importance of taking incremental steps, right? But also, what you want to do is do parts work. This is a whole separate other video, but in essence, certain parts of you in your psyche, because you're not just one thing, you have multiple parts, and you have protector parts. They are designed to protect you and to keep you in this comfort zone, not because they want you to suffer or not because they want you to never achieve your dreams, but because they are totally and utterly convinced that this means survival and this means death. That's why when I first saw this, I was like, what the fuck is that? This is so abstract. And now that I've broken it down in this way, it just makes so much more sense. And I hope that it makes more sense to you. I hope that you got something out of this. Now, listening to a video like this, or by listening to any kind of success seminar, you would have been told that if you don't get out of your comfort zone, you won't ever be successful. But if you have all those protector parts, and they really don't want you to go out here, you can't just bulldoze that. You can't just break through and do this despite how those parts feel, because you know what's gonna happen. You're gonna sabotage yourself, because your unconscious mind rules 99% of your reality. And if in your subconscious mind you still have all those parts of you that don't want you to go here, this means death. Remember, this means death. This is life, this is life, this is death to them, right? They're not against you, they're just trying to protect you. And if you just try to bulldoze that, they're gonna find some way to pull you back and to sabotage you. And then what's gonna happen is that you are going to create a meaning about it. You're going to create a new belief. Oh, maybe they're right, maybe it's not safe, maybe the world is not safe, maybe I'm incapable after all, maybe blah 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 blah, you know? And they're just gonna get sneakier and sneakier about pulling you back. So you might try to wake up early, you might do some things that are out of your comfort zone, but then you go and binge drink and then everything falls apart. That's why. Because you need to go into your subconscious mind and deal with all those parts of you and patterns that are still keeping you limited. If you go into those parts, usually you will find that they are not big bad scary monsters as they appear to be at first. They're actually hurt inner children, and they desperately need your help. They desperately need you to provide some kind of need for them, to fill some kind of need. And so you're gonna have to have a conversation with that part of you. Let's say you're going to speak on stage and do something scary, and you feel this trigger coming up. You are going to find that inner child part of you, and you're gonna go, hey, I know that you're feeling really bad right now, but I want you to know that this is safe and that I've got you, no matter what. Even if we flop, even if it goes really fucking badly and everyone laughs at us, I'm gonna have you. It's okay. Even if they dislike us, we're gonna do this. Even if we feel fear, we are going in together. I'm not leaving you. You can't step out of your comfort zone, but leave yourself, because that part of you will only pull you back. So that is my take on the comfort zone. Remember that behind fear lies your magnetism. Behind fear lies all of this, your dream life. People avoid their comfort zone because they want to avoid tension. They think that doing what they love is going to make them way too tense, and they can't handle that. But like I said, you already have tension if you stay in your comfort zone. It's just under the surface. And then it turns into addictions, self-hate, working 20 years in a job that you absolutely hate. That's tension to me. Like, that's worse than consciously choosing tension. So comment down below if this impacted you and which part clicked for you. And what is the thing that you're trying to avoid that you know will get you out of your comfort zone and expand you into your new level of self. Alright guys, well, thank you for being here. I do offer one-to-one coaching if anybody's interested. The links are down below. I've got art over on Instagram if you want to check that out. If you like this type of content, please do subscribe and like and comment, because it does help the channel grow. And I want to keep doing this. I actually want to keep doing this type of stuff and art and coaching full time. So that would really help me out. And I hope that you found this valuable. So yeah, see you guys next time. Bye. Get out of your comfort zone, bitch!